All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live and we have just finished the WAL 502 broadcast. I watched it on fantasy.com, whether you watched it on BR Live or you were there. It had some very big moments, and I will first of all straight up say it had some very controversial moments in it as well. Straight to the point. Look, there are a lot of talking points on this one, but I, without a doubt, want to say that there was a very, very, very disappointing call made in tonight's matches. The match that I'm referring to is, of course, Jeff, the Hale Razor Hale, in the hammer match against Sam Harris. Jeff Hale went off to a blinding start. He was leading 2-0 quick time outside of the straps. He was absolutely obliterating my prediction. I thought it was going to be a whitewash to Sam Harris round one. Jeff Hale comes out of the gates looking like an animal, doesn't need a strap, forces the hook with good speed and good supination, and he's up 1-0. Of course, then Sam Harris looks a little panicked. He looks a little troubled. What is Jeff Hale going to do next? Jeff Hale in the straps gets the job done again. Sam Harris kind of half gets out of the hook, but it doesn't happen. Jeff Hale forces it in. 2-0 Jeff Hale. Right at this point in time, I'm about to get hammered on YouTube because I never get a prediction right. But what does Sam Harris do then? He fights back. He does what a champion does. Round 3 was all good. Round 3 was no drama. Sam Harris fought back. And as you could hear, the whole time Jeff was talking like the refs weren't giving him a fair deal. At this point in time, I think he did have a fair deal. I think at this point in time, he was still in the match. He's got to learn how to negotiate a WAL start. But by rounds 4 and 5, it starts to get a little bit iffy. Rounds 4, let's just call it fair again, but we're back to 2-2. Here's where I have the problem, and I think where the controversy lies was round 5. Jeff Hale against Sam Harris, round 5, gets called for 2 fouls prior to any go. He never even got a chance to do a thing. All he is doing is sitting there talking to the ref, negotiating a grip, and he gets put on 2 fouls. 2 fouls before doing a thing is crazy. And my goodness, I've seen so many worse things happen in WAL that weren't even called fouls, that weren't even talked about. And let alone in the 5th round, the hammer match, the money on the line, Jeff Hale gets put on 2 fouls before anything starts. Look, in that final start, if we want to get WAF technical, there was a little bubble. There was a little bubble, and that 3rd foul, I guess, would have technically been it. But the match has stopped. We've seen so many fouls happen in WAL before, and for the precedent to be changed here in that last moment was, I don't know what it was. It was pressure. It was a big moment, and fouls were called, and you got to live and die by your sword when you're a referee. And I think, but as much as I love you, but I think you made too many premature calls here because the match, that is not how a match should end, especially a hammer match. It really shouldn't go down that way. Jeff Hale had the stop. He had the hook. It was in. He was about to go on and win. I've seen a few people say Sam Harris was going to win from there. I can promise you he was not going to win from there. The bleed was on. Sam Harris's pronation was gone. Sam Harris would have gone into a hook in about 10 seconds time, and it would have gone one-way traffic sideways over to the other side of the table, and it would have been Jeff Hale, new hammer holder. So, Jeff, first and foremost, I got to say a big apology to you because I told the world in my prediction show that this was a formality and Sam Harris was going to get the job done. You, sir, proved me wrong, and you should be holding the hammer right now, in my opinion. I think you were the stronger man today, Jeff Hale. Sam Harris, well done for retaining it. No disrespect from your effort and your composure and your ability to do what needed to be done, but the wrong man took home the hammer, unfortunately. I don't know if you agree. Let me know in the comments. I think it was a very, 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 very unfortunate way for a hammer to be retained. That final match should have at least been fought. To put Jeff on 2 fouls before anything significant had happened in the negotiation was criminal. And we lost a potential amazing moment that could have been a war in the 5th with a new hammer holder. And look, even if Sam won that 5th, and he might have, had it have started earlier, we still wanted to see the war. Those 2 fouls really did change the whole posture of everything about it. And we lost the moment. So, all right, enough on that match. It kind of frustrated me. It took a lot of the shine off the next match that was the big main event where we saw something spectacular happen. But it took me a while to get over that. So I had to get on here and talk about Jeff Hale first up. But the second biggest talking point out of that was the fact that Todd Hutchins just crushed Matt Mask. We saw a lot of classic Toddzilla in this. We saw him avoiding the straps, getting chalk, waiting for that buzzer to happen. And he did that beautifully. Matt Mask didn't look fired up today. When he walked out, he had a concerned look on his face. Right from the beginning, Matt Mask, I don't think was certain of victory. Like everyone had been telling him, everyone had been saying, this is yours, Matt Mask. Myself included. Logically, I thought this is Matt Mask's to win. But very well, I say that Todd Hutchins won this. He controlled the setups. He dictated when straps were on. He made sure he got the buckle on Matt's hand in round one. He had a nice tight strap. And from there, that very first go where Matt was kind of asleep, Todd Hutchins made Matt look like nothing. And Todd Hutchins looked very, very controlled. Unfortunately for Matt at that point in time, when there was a foul called on Todd Hutchins had to do it again. And we saw for one moment a flash and a bit of energy from Matt Mask that we all expected, I think. And we almost got that flash pin. I haven't yet reviewed the footage myself. I don't know if it was a flash pin or not, but it was mighty close. My gut feel when I watched it live was that it wasn't a pin. And anyway, from there, Todd Hutchins happily, even with his wrist back, he still has his pronation secured, dragged across. And as Matt described him, and as many have before, the side pressure king, Todd Hutchins, pulled through. And with every round that went past, it looked easier and more comfortable. My live stream dropped out midway through round 2, so I didn't get to see everything, but it came back in just as the replay was on and the pin was happening. So it looked comfortable. And round 3, it got better and better. So Todd Hutchins, going against the grain on a lot of respects there, proving himself to be a genuine heavyweight in many respects. He didn't get through Devin Larratt, but we know that there was gray areas in that. He got through Matt Mask very comfortably. Where to next for Todd Hutchins? I don't know. WAL probably expected Matt Mask to win this. What this does for the storyline of the heavyweight division, who knows? Who knows? We have Devin Larratt. Obviously, he'll be heading back up. We know who. We know that he's in the mix in the heavyweights. We got Michael Todd, Dave Chafee happening next. Devin Larratt will probably throw down against those guys later on in the season. Who knows? But now Todd Hutchins is back in the conversation as a heavyweight. Who are we going to see him up against next? Oh my goodness, I don't know. I don't know that Todd can go all the way, but Todd's proven that he's not at the bottom of the pile by any stretch when it comes to the heavyweights. So Todd Hutchins, well done, sir. Very, very impressive effort from you today. And I thought that it was an amazing pull. Your dominance in the strap and your awareness of how to get the strap you needed was the difference, in my opinion, today. All right, they are the 2 big matches. Of course, there were 3 other matches that happened that were equally as entertaining. To kind of walk back through them. Seeing that we're talking about heavyweights, we might as well keep on going with Jerry Carteret. Man, he looked like a man on a mission. He looked focused, strong, and very comfortable against Ryan Espy. Round 1, Ryan Espy pulled out one of the biggest elbow fouls I've ever seen. I guess that might have been a play. He might have been thinking, I'm going to throw away a foul just to try to get a pin. But even with this enormous foul off the back of the pad, he wasn't able to transition to a press. He wasn't able to get anywhere near the side pressure required. Jerry kind of sat there looking at the refs like, what's going on? Are you serious? You're going to make me wear that? Oh, okay. I'll sit here. I'll wait it out and I'll pin. And Jerry Carteret looked amazing. I don't know how the man does what he does. He's been pulling for 30 years. The inner elbow connection, his awareness to find an ability to find people's biceps from that wrist back position, even almost wrist up, wrist back and wrist up. He can still find people's biceps, and he has the integrity through his elbow to do some absolutely amazing things. Jerry Carteret, for me, is one of the rarest arm wrestlers on the planet. And his ability to do things that no one else can do is what sets him apart. So I think Jerry Carteret will be right there at the finish of this season. Will he be the hammer holder in the heavyweight division? Quite possibly. We know he can beat Michael Todd. Dave Chafee's obviously in the mix as well, depending on what happens between Michael Todd and Dave Chafee next at 503. Is going to determine probably who Jerry Carteret will have to face. I don't know that we'll see Devin Larratt and Jerry Carteret again. I don't think that that's the right match for WAL, but we will soon see. I think that, who knows? I think that Jerry Carteret should get the winner of Chafee and Todd, to be honest, and probably get a chance at the hammer, but we'll see how it unfolds. Other matches we had, the women's Angie Rose made a fantastic comeback against Michelle Dugan. Angie Rose, round one, I thought was gone. I thought, no way, she didn't get the hand height that she needed. Her fingers were low. Michelle Dugan had great posting and back pressure engagement and crushed Angie round one. And I thought, whoops, there goes my prediction again. I'd made a 50-50 call on that, backing Angie to win 3-2. But Matt Mars got in her ear, got her getting a knuckles high. And from that knuckles high position, Angie Rose looked amazing, and she took control of the match very well and didn't allow Michelle Dugan to get her power down again. And Angie Rose, well done. It was a very impressive victory ultimately. And, of course, the opening match, our good friend Paul Lynde putting my predictions to the sword again. So, Paul, well done, sir. You proved that you are a man on a mission. You are on a rise, more than even I anticipated, which very impressive win. Your hand control over Paul Talbot was tremendous. I haven't seen someone dominate Paul Talbot's hand and wrist quite so significantly when they're the same weight. Really, really impressive. Out of straps, great awareness. You had a John Brzenk style top roll transition to a press. Very, very impressive when Paul Talbot was looking to try to get a slip underneath. You didn't have any of it. And in the straps, credit to Paul Talbot for putting up a fight in that round two. He really did dig deep, dug his shoulder in, and found a way onto the bicep of Paul Lynde and started to get that bleed. I think there was hope for all the Paul Talbot supporters after that round two, but there was a lot of work going through the inner elbow of Paul Talbot. And I think the ultimate error that Paul Talbot made in that fourth round when he tried to set that defensive kind of flop wrist press and jam was that he went for it straight away. In comparison to that second round where initially he tried to win some hand control himself, and after fighting for hand control and losing it, he then went to the jam. In round four, Paul Talbot didn't fight for hand and just tried to go straight to the jam. That gave plenty of access to the side pressure for Paul Lynde, and Paul Lynde clearly way too strong to just give him access to side pressure. So Paul Lynde, well done, sir. You are firmly established in the WAL crowd now. I can't wait to see who they throw you up against next because, yeah, you're on a trajectory, man, and I think I'm going to have to add 10% to my guesses on how you're going to perform in any given respect. So Paul Lynde is the man tonight on that debut. There we go. I'll speak like an American. Debut. I say debut every now and then, and I apologize for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wrapped up the 502. For me, it was, although there were a few calls that were questionable, it was a very entertaining event. I did enjoy it. The fanseat.com worked 95% of the time for me down here in Australia. So hopefully it worked for you as well. BR Live, I'm not sure how that went, but hopefully it was fantastic. WAL 503 isn't far away. We've got some huge matches in that. I don't have the list of all of them in front of me, but obviously the one that is going to be the main event for that, Mr. Dave Chafee up against Michael Todd. That is a heavyweight, a super heavyweight title match there. The hammer on the line. I can't wait to see how that one goes. I will give an in-depth prediction show for that one as we get closer. But right now, my gut feel is that Michael Todd is a very difficult man to pin. And Dave Chafee, although he has probably the raw horsepower to get the job done in rounds one, I feel like if there's a stop, and I feel like there will be in maybe rounds 2 and 3, then Michael Todd will run away with that one. But it is what we are looking forward to at WAL 503. It's not going to be far away, and it's going to be epic. So, guys, thank you first and foremost to all the Patreon supporters. We've got a bucket load of people already coming in. Patreon.com/pound for pound arm wrestling. You guys providing literal financial support to the business. You guys are amazing. So big shout out to you, all the Patreon supporters. Jump on. There's different tiers. If you jump in at the highest level, you'll get a shirt, pound for pound arm wrestling shirt sent to you. We'll get Jonathan Lava from the Jonathan Lava Show doing shout outs as well when he is on the show. So thank you to all the people supporting through Patreon. You guys are amazing. And yeah, guys, thank you for all you guys tuning in here today live. Hit share for me on this one. It'd mean the world to me. And we'll do it again soon with more WAL action just around the corner. All right. See you guys.